Hey everybody, this is Maxine Taylor with another edition of my Trumpology report. And it's time for me to talk about uh, Donald Trump for the month of May 2017, as well as the United States chart for May 2017. Before I jump into that, I know that many of you who watch my Trumpology report are very well-versed in astrology, but some of you may not be. So and I offer this all the time to my friends and clients, if you would like an actual copy of Donald Trump's birth chart, this is the copy you will receive. If you would like that, all you have to do is go to my website, MaxineTaylor.com, and send me a message saying, please send me a copy of Donald Trump's birth chart, and I will email it to you. Now, in addition, if you would like a copy of your own birth chart, again, it's not an interpretation, it's the actual chart itself. I would be happy to do that. There's no charge for this. Just send me your birth data. And when I say birth data, I mean the month, day, and year, the city and state, and the exact time that you were born. And I will send you an actual copy of your birth chart, which you can enjoy. Now, very often when I send out these charts, I get a response back saying, I don't know how to interpret this. Okay, I've got two suggestions for you. Number one, on my YouTube channel, Maxine Taylor Astrologer, if you scroll down to the bottom, you will find classes called Astrology 101. These are TV shows I recorded for the AIB TV network. And it's free of charge. They take you step by step through how to interpret your birth chart. Another thing that might be of interest to some of you is I'm having a wonderful boot camp. It's an astrological boot camp, June 3rd and 4th. It's called Star Camp. Now, on Saturday, I am going to teach everything I know about how to interpret the birth chart. Whose birth chart? Yours and your friends and families. Those charts are going to be your textbook. And I'm going to show you, who do we want to know about? Ourselves and our loved ones. I'm going to show you how to interpret step by step your own birth chart and those of your friends and family. I've been an astrologer for over 50 years. I have a good bit of information to share, and I know how to simplify it so that it's really easy for you to understand. That's Saturday. Sunday, I'll teach you how to forecast those very same charts. Again, making it very simple for you to understand. And that means that from then on, you have the tools necessary to interpret and forecast anyone's birth chart. To get information on Star Camp 2017, just go to my website, MaxineTaylor.com. All the information you need is there, okay? And if you've got questions, just contact me. I'll be glad to answer you. So, Donald Trump, May 2017. Okay, I'm going to keep this very, very simple. And for those of you who study astrology, you know that I'm using the conjunction. That's the most powerful aspect we've got. There are many other aspects that we use, as you know, but these are the ones that tell the tale. And my talent is simplifying things. So let's talk about what's going on in Trump's chart during the month of May. Okay, starting very, very simply. I'm not doing Venus, I'm not doing Mercury. I'm just going to do the planets that trigger conjunctions. The sun, which is the giver of life, wherever the sun is, that's the area of life that is totally lit up. It starts in his 9th house of long-distance communication, correspondence, and transportation. We know that he has entertained foreign dignitaries, not just at the White House, but at Mar-a-Lago. And so this is communication and transportation involving all of our friends abroad. Now, on the 15th of May, the sun sits on his midheaven. That's the very, very top of the chart. When that happens, his public image comes alive. When the sun sits on your midheaven, which it does once a year, your popularity increases enormously. Your fame, your reputation, and that becomes the center of your life. And the sun stays in Trump's 10th house of career, publicity, and public image. And all things relating to his presidency and his businesses in general, because it's his career, all during the month of May. So that lights things up. Now you notice Mars, the red planet, very powerful. Wherever Mars is, that's what we throw ourselves into. That's what comes first with us. That's what we fight with or fight for. It's in Trump's 10th house of his public image and his career. So he's fighting for his career, he's fighting with his career, he's fighting to move up to the top even more. Whenever Mars is in your 10th house, that is when you throw yourself into all of your ambitions, you unleash them. So let's look at this on a deeper level. So let me look at my own handwriting here. From the 15th to the 17th of May, Mars sits on his Uranus. Uranus is the rebel. Uranus is the unexpected. Uranus is the giver, the awakener. Whenever Mars sits on Uranus, Mars is like the spark that ignites the rebellion. It is the match that you throw on the gasoline-soaked rag. So we know to expect the unexpected from Trump, but Mars really makes it huge. Okay, then on the 20th and the 21st, Mars sits on his north node. Now the north node is the area of your chart where you have your greatest fulfillment, your greatest achievements. And then it sits on his sun, the giver of life. From the, I wrote so small I can hardly read it, the 22nd through the 24th. So this is really big for his public image, for his authority, for his presidency. And that looks really, really cool. Now, I want to go into a couple of other things relating to Trump in May of 2017. First of all, we are going to have a full moon. We will all feel it. On the full moon, things come to a head. So it's in his third house of communication. He's going to really let it rip. This is on the, actually, this should be on the 10th, if I remember correctly, rather than, let me just look here for a second. Yes, on the 10th, rather than the 8th. Let's blame it on Mercury retrograde. He is going to be sharing his ideas. He's going to be talking more. He's going to be expressing himself more. And what he's going to do, this full moon quincunxes his planets in the 10th house, meaning he's readjusting his public image. Okay. The new moon on May 25th, very, very interesting, falls in his 10th house. The problem is that it squares his ascendant. So while his public image is great, he's actually fighting with himself. Going to be a very interesting time. Now let's back it up just a little to the February eclipses. You remember I talked about the eclipses. Anytime we have an eclipse, boy, things really are kicked into action. We feel them strongest 3 to 4 months after they occur. We've had 2 eclipses in February, and they're strongest May and June. Okay, the first eclipse on February 10th sat on his Mars. Mars sits very close to his ascendant. Mars is the fighter. We saw that right from the get-go with Trump. It is the fighter. It is, wherever it is in your chart is how you fight and where you fight. It's behind the scenes. And so, but it's close to his ascendant. So there is a hidden fight that motivates him. I don't think that's news to us, but it is borne out and validated in the chart. So the eclipse on February 10th, the lunar eclipse, brought this to a head. Very, very powerful. And again, that is squaring his ascendant. Then on February 26th, we had an eclipse in his seventh house of partnership, negotiations, and our open enemies. And so these are the areas that are triggered right now. Before we go any further, I have to bring the United States into this. Oh, and before I do that, I'm going to give you a little sneak peek ahead. Jupiter, the planet of abundance, is in Trump's second house natally of money. On June 10th, when Jupiter goes direct, when he has his Jupiter return, his financial plans will start to move forward. And August, during the month of August, particularly, I want to say from the 24th, starting July, from the 24th of July through August 7th, Trump's financial plans bear fruit. So we want to watch at that point in time, see if people are talking about his money, see how much money is coming in, and everything related to that. Okay, now let's look at the United States chart. This is always very, very telling. Okay, let me get my little papers here organized. Just sing a little song. Okay, here we go. Well, first of all, look at here. This is the USA in May. Now, we start off the month with the sun in our 12th house. The 12th house deals with all behind-the-scenes activities. It deals with hidden enemies, spies, seclusion, anything that is behind the scenes. So there's a lot behind the scenes, obviously, that we are not privy to. When the sun moves from the hidden 12th house and crosses the ascendant, which it will do on, hang on, I'm looking at my handwriting, on the 28th, at the very end of May. It will also sit on Uranus. Now, Uranus is the planet of rebellion. And so what it's going to trigger is a great deal of rebellion on the whole attitude of the populace. That's just what happens. There is now you might say, well, we've already been seeing rebellion. Yeah, we have, and we're going to see more of it according to the transits. And so when the sun, which lights things up, crosses the ascendant, sits on Uranus, then we come into our own as a people. Now you might say, well, is this because we're involved in a situation, a skirmish with an enemy? Don't know what's going to trigger it, but you can see it in the chart. And there will be rebellion, but just in case that wasn't enough, notice Mars, the planet of war, the planet of anger, the planet of action, is sitting right on the ascendant of the United States chart, May 1st through the 4th. We are already feeling it. And this means that the people are angry. There is arguing, there is anger, there is a fight brewing. This will continue as Mars moves through the first house, and he's going to, the United States, I said he, I meant it. It is going to have a Mars return, which, as we know, happens every 2 years, on May 21st. Isn't this interesting? May 21st. And so all month long, we are talking about action, rebellion, energy, as Mars sits on the ascendant of the United States chart. It sits on Uranus. Again, Mars on Uranus, just like Mars on Trump's Uranus, is explosiveness, it's anger, it's passion, it's total rebellion. And then it sits on Mars. Mars rules gunfire. But in the first house of the United States chart, what it does is it triggers anger. Now, in Trump's chart, now I want to connect the dots here for just a little bit. In Trump's chart, the sun is on his midheaven, top of his chart, on May 15th. Mars is on his Uranus, May 15th. And so we are talking about something explosive, something unusual, something unique, something rebellious coming from the president. Again, I know some of you are saying, well, isn't that par for the course? Yes, but it's even more so right now. So let me keep going with the United States chart. So all the action this month, starting from the time that the sun crosses the ascendant, actually it starts with Mars on the ascendant, the very first of the month, and continues as the sun moves through the first house, which it will, through the month of May. We come into our own. Now, continuing with the United States chart, need to get my notes here. Here we go. Okay. First of all, the full moon falls in the United States 6th house. That's where things come to a head. What does the 6th house in a mundane chart rule? It rules the workers, it rules the police, it rules the military, it deals with health, it deals with civil service, fire departments, all civil servants. And so this is where things come to a big head. Whether it deals with the law relating to our workers or just our workers itself, jobs, that's what we're talking about. Then, the new moon on the 25th is in the 12th house. So there's a lot of behind the scenes things going on that we may not know about, but it's close enough to the ascendant and to Uranus to trigger rebellion on the part of the people. Where did we see that rebellion before? Right here. And so the month of May, you've got the tone, you've got everything sitting there. Let's go back to the prior eclipses because they are really strong right now. The February 10th eclipse fell in the United States 4th house. The 4th house deals with, traditionally, homes, family, real estate. It deals with the weather. It deals with the party out of power, which of course in this case, we're talking about the Democrats, and all domestic affairs. That's what's been going on and will continue. Now, the solar eclipse on the 26th fell in our 10th house of our public image, our own president. So the president was triggered with the second eclipse in February. However, that eclipse squares the ascendant and Uranus. And so what this says is that there's going to be something coming from the president, from the top, that's going to upset the attitude of the people. There's a lot more I can share with you. I think I'll keep it very simple right now. As I looked at this, there were so many things going on, but I hope I've simplified it enough so that you get the picture of what's getting ready to happen. Remember that the February eclipses are going to be triggered May and June right now. So I'll be talking about them again with you in June. A lot to think about. Keep your eyes open because now it's starting to happen. So, till we meet again, this is Maxine Taylor saying, may the stars shine brightly on you and yours. And God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.